Hi guys, I am here to speak with you because there's definitely something important going on in this Jussie Smollett case. And so I just want to talk to you guys and share with you some things that I found and things that stand out to me. So first of all, Jussie Smollett very well may be innocent. So let's just put that out there and keep that in mind. This man should hire his own detectives, and he should also he should maintain his innocence, as he has every right to. But yeah, he should definitely hire his own set of detectives, because the man is claiming he's innocent, you know? And so, okay, I'd like to start off just by saying that this is something that needs to be talked about, because I know a few people have these views, but there aren't any videos like that really reflect this outlook. And for starters, we could just say that everybody jumped off the railing when it comes to whether or not he was innocent. People just started saying he was guilty because of the media and the image that they pushed of him to look stupid, and it was just really unfair. You know, certain sources are not reputable, and you can look on the news and you can see where they're saying sources say. Just because a source has said something doesn't necessarily mean that you should believe it. And I understand certain things that cause you to question. That's definitely reasonable, but it doesn't necessarily determine the guy's innocence or guilt. Something that's really important to consider are the video recordings that have been released to the general public. This is a very public issue, and video recordings that have been released from the very beginning of this incident show nothing but two blurry figures. Now, the fact that that would even be released on the news as what the police said were, their suspects that they're going to question, the fact that that blurry image was released on the news, it rings in me disrespect, the feeling of just being taken to be stupid, taken to be somebody who doesn't think and who does not take their own opinions and does her own research. Those two images that were released, it did not suffice for the news to be a reputable source for people to sit and believe. It did not suffice to satiate the thirst that I had to find out who these people were. It didn't even give a general view of their face. So from the very beginning, we're having videos released that, this is not helpful. And so moving on, when Jussie Smollett, he was attacked. It was 2 a.m. and he was going to the subways, and people are questioning, why would you do that? Valid question, good question. Superstars do dumb things all the time. Remember Michael Jackson? He used to dress up like a bum and go outside just so that he could have a little hint of normalcy. And Jussie Smollett, he did even say it himself that the Fox team and from Empire offered to give him extra security after receiving those 2 letters to Empire about him. They did offer to give him extra security, and he's like, nah, I don't want that. Sometimes as a superstar, the last thing that you want is more more people around you. So he went back to the apartment. The person that was in the apartment with him, who was doing work with him, his creative so-and-so, that guy made the phone call and was responsible, saw to it that Jussie got the police department's attention, and then took Jussie to the hospital in a car. Great. He got taken care of. He went to an actual hospital. There were some concerns out there as to whether or not this guy actually went to a hospital. Yes, he went to a hospital. And if I remember correctly, this is something that maybe you'd want to look up. He had visitors come to the hospital as well. So, yeah, and just going further, this man, he is somebody who's already aware, that he's in the spotlight. You get what I'm saying? And so, and especially being a Black person, I think that, he would take into consideration the fact that if he wanted to conspire a lie, put together this whole situation, I think that he would know that he would consider the fact that it could be dug into, so I would grant him just a little bit more credit than just to hop off the deep end and say, this guy, he's lost it, he's bonkers. So yeah. Now also I wanted to point out the fact that the two dudes who attacked him wearing the red MAGA caps, or wearing the red caps as he described, and who were, as he said, part of MAGA. This guy, these two people, we don't know if we don't know if these people were sitting there and waiting to attack specifically Jussie Smollett. Just consider what the situation could have looked like had it been a random Black man coming out of that building. Somebody that they didn't know. It just would have been them running up to this guy, beating this guy up. If it was a regular man, maybe they would have killed him. Maybe they would have beat him up even more than Jussie Smollett had experienced. These people who were out there, maybe they were not aware that Jussie Smollett would be coming out of the building, but when they started attacking him, realized it was him, and maybe that is what saved his life. Maybe that's what kept him from getting extremely beat up. We have to consider that. That's what I'm considering, because I ask myself all the questions that other people are coming forward with to declare his guilt. I'm like, well, is it valid? What would make it not valid? What would make him innocent in this situation where this question is really good? We never considered the fact that maybe these guys didn't specifically target Jussie Smollett. Maybe they were just looking for any random Black man, any random Black man to get their violence out on. So considering that, just imagine what the scenario could have turned out like if it hadn't been Jussie. And so, the news, the bleach, going on to the news and what people have posted as something to release to the public, you're talking about, the evidence that was found. The very first news video that I saw that talked about evidence, pertaining to the two brothers. Now, the evidence was a list of 3 things that they released to the public. That was bleach, rope, something that appeared to be a rope, and an Empire script. And that was what made them suspects. That and the phone calls between them, the brothers, and Jussie Smollett. And they'd say that the phone calls happened hours before the attack and hours after the attack. First of all, those 3 items that were released to the public when they very first started speculating about the two brothers, insufficient. Extremely insufficient. And a slap in the face, TBH. If you want to talk to the public about suspects, please give us a list of a little bit more things that we can really weigh and consider. Because everybody has bleach in the house. I'm sorry. Now, so Jussie Smollett, with the brothers, we are not sure if what was I gonna say? Following my own train of thought. So the thing that made them suspects were the phone calls and the fact that they had worked on Empire before, one of them as an extra, but that, like, you don't have much going on in the show, but that's their acquaintanceship. That's how they like got to know each other and then became trainers. And so hours before the attack, they had conversation, according to the news, and hours after. Let's just put it out there that before and after, and then you say hours broadly. If this man is guilty, or if you are pushing the view that this man is guilty, that evidence is coming up that weighs against his innocence and makes us question that, then why not release the specific hour? If you have the time records that this guy handed over to you, you could say the amount of hours that, was in between. Because, we're talking about something that's really important here, and the public is speculating more and more. Hours, like, basically, you're going to push things that make people look guilty if you're pushing the story that they're guilty. They put information